Hello, everyone. My name is Erik Cave, and I'm the Director of Next Gen Ministries for the Pacific Northwest Conference. And today I get to introduce you to my new friend. Her name is Jessy Mora, and she is the new Children's Ministry Director at Cannon Beach Community Church. Jessy, thank you so much for taking some time to let us get to know you. So, why don't we start off, and I'll just ask you to share what is your personal and ministry background?
Yeah, so I grew up in small town Minnesota. I was plugged into the church pretty early on at a young age, probably going 2 or 3 times a week, and tagged along my mom when she was volunteering in nursery or children's church. And then I was really blessed with being able to go to camp every summer at a camp just 30 minutes from town and a Bible camp. And then I was also blessed with an amazing youth pastor that came in my middle school years, and he got married to a gal that became my mentor. And I believe that a huge heart for church and what the life of living with and walking with God looks like through watching them. And so that kind of started a desire for mentorship in my life and accountability and support and encouragement. And seeing that be brought to myself helped my walk with God. I probably personally gave my life to the Lord in middle school, got baptized my freshman year of high school, and really thought that a life of ministry was kind of like where my life was headed. I didn't know what exactly that looked like. I really wanted to go to a private Christian school or university after high school, but God plugged me into actually camp ministry, and I was a counselor, and a lot of doors closed with colleges. And so God's had me spend actually a week of just silence. And as far as like where I was going to be going, right before college was supposed to start, I had it all laid down and everything. And he kind of wiped that out and said, "No, you're going to stay at camp and you're going to be an intern." I was not prepared for that. I was like, we don't make any money being an intern, but here we
Mhm.
go. So I was an intern for a year at a camp in Minnesota. And
Okay.
then that led me to Cannon Beach, actually. Someone said their brother went to the Ecola Bible College in Cannon Beach. And so
Mhm.
I was like, all right, we're gonna go. And so I took the train and we came over. I've never been on the Pacific Northwest,
Wow.
and absolutely fell in love with the community and with the people and the conference center, which is where Ecola Bible College
Mhm.
rents from,
Mhm.
and the beach. I didn't grow up with anything about the ocean, but I love it. In 2017, actually, I met my husband, Esteban. He had worked at he was doing an internship at the conference center that year, and he had a change of heart and wanted to do camp ministry in his life. And so that's kind of where we connected and knew God wanted us to do camp ministry. But at that time, he didn't have a green card, so we had to move back to Costa
Mhm.
Rica for a while, and
Mhm.
eventually we got to move back to the States. God led us, we're exactly where our desires were, back to Cannon Beach in 2022. And so then we got to be able to plug into here at the conference center, and then also here at Cannon Beach Community Church, where I just found a whole new family and a whole new community here.
That's a great story. So tell us about what you're passionate about in ministry and life right now.
Yeah, I would say right now it'd be community. I think building community in the church. I'm just really passionate about finding people that we can take along and encourage and
Mhm.
support and
Mhm.
just do life together. And right now, especially as a mom of two kiddos, I have a 3-year-old and or a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old now. And so my community is a lot of moms. And so finding community within our county of all the moms around here. And so I am passionate about finding those people and just plugging into that and getting together and sharing our life together.
Like that. How can we be praying for you?
I would say prayer just to make more space for spiritual growth in my walk with the Lord. God is just number one, and I want that to lead my ministry and my marriage and my home. And yeah, just making more room for spiritual growth.
Thanks, Jesse. I'll be praying for you for that for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing for that. I hope our viewers will take some time to pray for you as well.
Mm.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit. It's our
Mm.
tradition to kind of do some fun, quick fire questions, and you picked out a few, and I'm
Awesome.
just going to go through them and we'll learn a little bit more about you. Does that sound good?
That's great.
Okay. First one is what three traits define you?
I would say joyful or like optimistic, maybe but peaceful, calm, and then adventurous would be my three.
I feel like I've just gotten to know you, but I can see all three of those things already. So those are good answers. Okay, next question. What's one thing that you couldn't live without?
Man, I was talking to my husband. I was like, well, I we know Jesus and my family are great, but I would want to say pets.
Pets?
Yeah,
Like
pets.
animals?
Sorry, what's
Yeah, well, okay, well, what pets do you have?
Oh, well, right now we have a dog and we have a snake and some
Oh,
bugs and stuff like that. We love animals, and I feel pets is one thing that's like I gotta have them.
that's great. Next question then is what is the greatest challenge you have had to overcome in your life so far?
Yeah, I mentioned when we got married, 10 days later, we had to move to Costa Rica,
Yeah.
and that was a huge culture shock for me. We were
Mm.
actually there for 3.5 years, and I was not prepared for it. And I think it hit me hard, and it was a season of drought and dryness and loneliness. We wanted to move back to the States, but we got customs kind of sent us back to Costa Rica where we had to have just halfway through to start all over. And so it was just a really long process. And so I think that was probably my biggest struggle. And God totally showed himself when we came out. It was just all of God's miraculous like timing. So that's a whole another story. But just that was probably the three hardest years was just living in Costa Rica, which you wouldn't expect that, but
I love to hear that story.
yes.
Today. Okay, so another question then is what is your favorite thing to do?
I love being by water,
Mm,
and
you live in the right
that
place.
would be like the ocean or the rivers or the lakes. And I was like thinking, why do I love this? And I think it's because everything needs water, like animals
Mhm.
and insects and
Mhm.
amphibians. And I love being around them and seeing them and adventuring and finding them. So I think being by water in general is just really fun because you're going to find lots of things.
Well, you live in the right place.
Yes.
Water.
Right where I'm supposed to be.
Good. Okay, last question. A little more serious one. What does true leadership mean to you?
I would say someone that is letting the Lord lead them, being humble, I think is my top two for leadership, and God is number one, and just sharing what God's doing in your life. And
That's something for us all to strive for.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, Jesse, for taking the time to share your life with us. And I'm really glad that
Mhm.
you're in our conference, that you're at Cannon Beach Community Church. I think you're doing a great job, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you again for today.
Thank you so much. I'm excited for what's next.
Ta-da! I bet Jill's tired of hearing me say ta-da.